All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I wanted to do a response video to this video right here, man. You know, there's a lot of Israelite men, which are the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indian men that are waking up to these women. Okay. And, you know, I'm glad that this shit is happening. Well, not shit. I'm glad it is happening because for decades now, you women, especially the Israelite women of our nation, you've done nothing but mistreated the Israelite man, which would be the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indian men. You know, you've mistreated us. You know, you abused us. You overused us. You know, you used your mind games. You know, we've, you know, well, I can't really, because I never really let it get to a point to where a woman would emotionally abuse me. But, you know, when I say we, I speak for the Israelite men of our nation. You know, you've emotionally abused us. Some of y'all physically hit us. Some of us ended up being locked up over you women. You know, you would call Esau, the police on us, you know, and, you know, it's getting to a point to where, you know, our people, the Israelites, are getting fed up with you goddamn women, especially you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indian women. Okay? Because technically, y'all are currently the worst women to get with on this planet because your attitude, your outlook, and what you think of the Israelite man. And you women have no idea that the most precious and the most valuable men on this planet is a Israelite man. And that's according to the Holy Scriptures. Okay? And that's simply over the fact that according to the Scriptures, you know, we are Israelites. And if you know anything about the biblical Israelites, you would know that we are the most unique and the most powerful people on the planet. Okay? And you should have also known that we are God's true chosen people. It's 144, the Wada Yahweh Shai. You would also know that we are God's true chosen people. Also, when you look up the word Israel, when you look up Israelite in the Bible, it goes back to the Hebrew word Yashar Allah. Okay? That is how you say Israel in the Paleo Hebrew. Okay? Because we was not calling ourselves Israelites thousands of years ago. We was calling ourselves Yashar Allah, which Yashar Allah means Yah meaning he. When you break it down, Yah meaning he, Shar, Shar, which means prince, and then Allah, which is where you get the word God from. Okay? The Hebrew word for God is Allah. So when you put Yashar Allah together, Yashar Allah literally means he is a prince of God. So according to the Holy Scriptures, we are princes of God. We are all princes of the Most High. Okay? Now, according to the Holy Scriptures, the Most High, whose name is Yahweh, okay, he you know, yeah, the Scriptures call him Lord, God, But did you know that the Most High is also a king? And he's actually our very first king. Okay. And you know, it tells you that in the book of First Samuel. But what I'm getting at is that a king who has sons, those sons are known as princes. So a prince would technically be the son of a king. So if the Holy Scriptures calls us Israelites, which in the Paleo Hebrew is Yashar Allah, which means he is a prince of God, what does that make us? That makes us princes. So the Israelite man, which will be the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indian man, we are princes of the Most High. And for decades, we had to put up with you so-called Black, Latino, and Native Indians women bullshit. The women of you that are so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians, we had to put up with your bullshit. You know, we had to put up with your emotional abuse and you just misusing us, misjudging us, looking down on us and all that. I mean, which, don't get me wrong, it makes sense why I would do it, because, we're currently under the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. The Lord said that we will be under the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, until the Lord's second coming, which is actually in this generation, which is around the corner. So according to the Holy Scriptures, we Israelite men are the most powerful, the most valuable, the most unique, and the most precious men walking on the planet. So for y'all to just sit there and just spit in our face and, and when I say spit in our face, I'm not talking in a literal sense, but I'm talking about how you Israelite women have treated us for the past decades. You will put your man on child support. You will curse him out. You will sleep around on him. You will have him kicked out of the house. You will get a restraining order on him. And then on top of that, you would keep him from seeing his own child. And if he tried to see his own child in secret, he got arrested. Okay, he got thrown in jail. So, excuse me. We would get arrested. We would get thrown in, the Israelite man would get thrown in jail. Y'all really have misused and abused us for decades. And then if that wasn't bad enough, y'all being pregnant with an Israelite man's child, don't you know that baby inside your womb is an Israelite? Okay, a baby's nationality is based on who the father is. Okay, and thus that the body of the baby is made from men's semen. Okay, but anyways, according to the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18, a baby's nationality is determined by who the father is. So if your father's lineage on your father's side goes back to a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native Indian, you are an Israelite. And the times we're living in, the Israelite man is not putting up with you women's bullshit anymore. Okay, they're not putting up with your fucking mind games. They're not putting up with your emotional abuse. Okay. And let me tell you something. The most unappreciative women on this planet are you so-called Black, Latino, and Native Indian women. You are the most unappreciated women on the planet. You always got attitude problems. You can't cook for your man. You don't even know how to take care of the house, the children. You don't even know how to wash your own ass correctly. And then on top of that, you act like you're all that because you got all these extensions in your hair when really you ain't got no hair because the Lord took your hair. And that's according to what? The book of Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, where the Lord said that he would smite of the crown of the heads, the daughters of Zion. Now, in the book of 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, it tells you that your hair is your glory. A woman's hair is her glory. Okay, everybody loves a woman with long, beautiful hair. But you take that away from her, and that's like half her beauty cut in half. So for the majority of the women of our nation, your hair has been taken from you. And the Lord did it because of your pride. You know? Furthermore, when we come over here on the comment board, you see that a lot of these guys that are leaving comments, a lot of them are waking up to you women. And I'm going to just read some of these comments. Okay. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a couple of comments left on here by some simps. But I'm going to come over here. I'm going to read some of these comments. Okay. So this is from Freeborn James 6142. I don't know why these numbers are at the end there. But I guess it's going off of the email, but it says right here, right? Man knew his preference, then acted upon it. Okay. Got 312 likes. This one is by J.C. Smith. He showed her the same respect that she showed him. You see? And you know what? Ultimately, we understand that it's really the Lord that's basically causing a shift in the earth. It's the Lord that's causing a shift in the earth. Okay? All this feminism, all this simping over women and, you know, baby, please, I'll do anything for you. I'll buy you this. I'll buy you that. I'll give you the world. And those fucking days are over. Okay. Because a lot of you women, you have taken an advantage of the Israelite man because of how emotionally attached he becomes to you. You know, you use those feelings that he have towards you to your advantage in a way that it ends up ruining the relationship. You know, you playing all these mind games. You know, you're saying that, you know, we can meet up here. We can do this. We can go out to eat and blase. But guess what? You don't act upon it. You playing mind games. You making him wait. And you know, he being a simp he is, he ends up waiting until finally he's like asking you, well, what's going on here? And he's doing all this shit and falling head over heels for you for what? For a piece of ass. Okay. And the majority of you women on this planet, you ain't even worth the attention or the effort. Now, I'm just coming out and I'm saying it. Let me see. So let me come over here real quick. I already knew I was not going to. It might be in Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter. But I don't want to make any assumptions. So to save myself time, let's type this in Bible, right? And this is why King Solomon, who was also an Israelite, if King Solomon was alive today, he would look like a so-called black person. Okay, King Solomon was from the tribe of Judah, and we know that so-called Negroes come from the tribe of Judah. Okay, his father, King David, was a so-called black man. Okay, woolly hair, brown skin, and everything, just like King Solomon, his son. Let me see Bible. See Bible. And whoa. And I find more bitter than death. So King Solomon, the most wisest man that ever walked this planet, said this about you women. So let's see, Ecclesiastes 7:26. The most wisest men that ever walked the planet said this about you, you women, especially you Israelite women out there. Okay. Ecclesiastes 7:26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares. Now, when you look up the word heart, it's not talking about an organ that pumps blood in between your chest. Okay, when you look up the word heart, it goes back to the Hebrew word lab, which means what? Your mind. So what King Solomon is saying here is that I find more bitter than death the woman whose mind is snares and nets. What makes your mind full of snares and nets? When you playing all these damn mind games and shit. You know, some of you women, you have set up men to be robbed. You have set up men to be jumped, killed, brutally beaten. Why? Because your mind is full of traps. You know, and another reason why King Solomon said that a woman's mind is full of snares and nets is because when a woman realizes that a man has strong feelings for her, you know, she's already plotting on how to get the most out of him, you know, by playing on his emotions. Because here it is, you know, she'll hug you, she'll kiss you, she'll call you baby. And then, you know, you being a simp and a simpleton, you falling right into it. Because ultimately, the words that she's saying to you, she don't really mean it. She's only calling you baby. She's only calling you honey. She's only hugging and kissing on you. She know she's telling you, you know, that you're the one and blase. The only reason why she's doing that is because you have something that she wants. And once she's extracted everything out of you, then what? Then comes the attitude problems. She starts acting funny towards you. She starts acting like she don't want to talk to you as much as she used to. You know, you texting her and right before you know it, she's not even texting you back. You know? And she just starts acting real funny towards you. You know, she acts like she don't even want to, you know, talk to you anymore. She doesn't want to see you as much as she used to. And she don't realize that what she's doing is she's emotionally destroying that guy. You know? And this is how a lot of men end up heartbroken. And when I say heartbroken, I'm not talking about the organ that pumps blood in between your chest. Somebody who's heartbroken is somebody who's been emotionally destroyed. And where do your emotions come from? The organ that pumps blood in between your chest? No, your emotions come from your mind. A heartbroken person is a person who's been emotionally destroyed. And a lot of you women, you're responsible for a lot of these men being emotionally destroyed. Okay, because of the majority of you women, men ended up being strung out on drugs, becoming drug addicts, alcoholics, sitting in the house, crying all fucking day over your worthless ass. Why? Because you used and abused him. You used his emotions against him. You didn't even take into account how he really felt towards you. You didn't even care about his feelings. You cared about what he had that you wanted. And the scriptures say that you're not supposed to covet what your neighbor has. And a lot of you women, you don't realize it, but your man is your defense. When you don't have a man, especially a man to protect you, you ain't got no hedge. You have no protection. So I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth Yahweh shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Okay, because a sinner is somebody whose mind is not after the ways of the Lord, because the Heavenly Father is not a simp. Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, he ain't no simp. Okay. Now, the nation of Israel is likened unto a comely and delicate woman, right? You think the Lord is falling head over heels for? Nah. The Lord said, "Oh, okay, so you want to play the harlot? Oh, okay, bitch. Well, I'm gonna put your ass into slavery, and then I'm gonna put the most vilest, nastiest, based man over you." Okay. So if your mind is not after the ways of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, you're going to fall for these women. Okay? Because in the Holy Scriptures, within the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Scriptures, the Lord clearly tells you how to deal with these women. So when you try to deal with these women outside of the Lord's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you end up heartbroken. It's just plain and simple. Let's go to... Let's see. Ecclesiastes. What was I going to get? Bear with me for one moment. I was on a... Oh, yeah, okay. That's what I'm going to get. Okay. So check this out. 1 Corinthians. Let me see here. 1 Corinthians. No, you know what? It's the 11th chapter, 1 Corinthians 11, because the Lord gave the proper order, you see, because we have a defense, you know, Lord's will, if we're of the elect, our defense is in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, who used the angels to protect and deliver us. Okay. If we're hoping to be of the elect. So if we're of the elect, you know, we got angels watching over us and protecting us, okay, which is their hedge. Okay. So, and this is the proper order right here. What you women don't realize is that your greatest defense is going to be in the Israelite man that is of the elect. So if you don't have a man of the Lord protecting you when hell break loose, you're not going to survive Jacob's trouble. The Lord's going to put you through pain, misery, emotional destruction, torments, and then eventually death. And the majority of you women of our nation, which ultimately make up the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, don't get me wrong, there are men, Israelite men, that are up to 2/3 of the nation of Israel that's going to be destroyed. But there's more women on this planet than there is men. So a lot of the 2/3 of our nation really makes up you women. Okay. And when the time of judgment comes, when hell breaks loose in America, when shit hits the fan, you're not going to have a protection. You're not going to have an edge. You're not going to have a hedge or a shield around you, because you know who your protection is. Well, I'm about to read it to you right now. 1 Corinthians 11:5. No, wait a minute. 1 Corinthians 11:3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Yahweh Shai. So what does it mean by the head of every man is Yahweh Shai? That means that Yahweh Shai is over, every man on this planet. Okay? It says, and the head of the woman is the man. You know what that means? That means that we are over you women. Because naturally, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, the Lord made the man to be stronger than the woman. The man is the stronger vessel. You women are the weaker vessel, and the Lord set it up that way. So when it comes to protection and security, the man your man is responsible for protecting you. But don't be that woman and be out there running your mouth and being disrespectful and unruly, because you'll end up just like that same woman that got hit in the face with a brick because she wanted to be on some disrespectful shit. Okay. But you know what? You know why she got that brick to her face? Because she didn't have a man. She wanted to be out there, being a feminist, being single. But the moment she got hit in the face with a brick, she woke up to reality. Okay. She woke up out of that dream bubble. And you see, when hell break loose in America, there's going to be a lot of men that's going to take advantage of you women. And you know what I'm saying. Okay, a lot of you going to get kidnapped and men are just going to have their way with you. And there ain't nothing you're going to be able to do about it. Because it's not like you're going to have a man to protect you anyway. Right now, the only man that you have to protect you, you nasty, worthless piece of shit women, is the police. But guess what? Next year could actually be the year that 911 goes out of service. Then what? Then you're going to wish you had never got rid of your man. And then you're going to try to call up one of your most recent dudes that you was dealing with. And guess what? He's not going to want to hear it. He's going to say, fuck you. Because when you had the chance to get with him, you mistreated him. You abused him. You used him. You said he wasn't this, he wasn't that. So ain't no man gonna want to protect you women out there. You think you're all that. You think your shit don't stink. Okay. You think you're untouchable. You always got a bad attitude problem. And you're just misusing and abusing the Israelite man. Guess what? Ain't no man gonna want to protect you in that day. I'll tell you what type of woman is going to be protected. A woman that is of the elect of the nation of Israel, which make up the 1/3. Those are the type of women that's going to be protected. Those are the type of women that are humble. They don't think highly of themselves. They have some kind of fear of the Lord. They have faith and they believe in this truth. Okay. But I'll have you know that the head of every man is Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is Yahweh. And Yahweh is the Most High. He's over everyone and everything. Okay. And his second in command is his son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. So that means Yahweh Shai is over every man on this planet. And he's You know, he's over every man on this planet. And the man is over the woman. So that's what the scriptures are saying. And the Most High is over every man, and he's over every woman, and he's over every creature and everything. So I'm gonna come over here real quick. Let's go to the Blue Letter Bible, because I'm gonna read that in the NLT. Let's go to the Blue Letter Bible. And let's go to 1 Corinthians 11:3. And let's look for this in NLT. So it says here in the NLT, 1 Corinthians 11:3, but there is one thing I want you to know. The head of every man is Yahushua. The head of the woman is man. You see that? And the head of Yahushua is God. Okay. So I wonder, do they have a Good News translation? They probably don't. Let me see. I want to read this in the GNT, but they don't seem to have a GNT on his website, which is fine. Let's go to Google. And let's type in First Corinthians 11 verse 3 in the GNT. Let's see what comes up. So it's the GNT is an acronym for Good News Translations for those who don't know. And I want to add this to bookmarks. So excuse me. See, soundproof. Let me see. No, let me see. Add the bookmarks. Okay. Let me see. So here we go. So let's do this. Select folder, bookmarks, and then. All right. So that way, you know, if I ever need to look up a scripture in the GNT, I can just come to this website. So here, right, it says in the Good News translation, 1 Corinthians 11:3, but I want you to understand that Yahushua is supreme over every man. Okay. The husband is supreme over his wife. You see that? And God is supreme over Yahushua. And when it says God there, it's really talking about the Most High. Okay, and Yahweh, the Most High, is supreme over Yahushua. Okay, so that means that the man is supreme over the woman. So the Lord made us to be the stronger vessel than you women. So by you women not having a man, that means you have no defense. So when hell break loose in America, when it's complete anarchy out here, when there's civil wars and race wars and lions and tigers and bears and cougars and robot dogs and robots killing and terminating people, executing people with chainsaws and saw blades and weapons, swords. Okay, when people's out here starving because there's no food, when there's a disease warfare, when people are being kidnapped and cannibalized because of the lack of bread, when people are being killed over a box of cereal, then you women are going to realize how much you fucked up. Because even the police, there ain't going to be no police in that day. A lot of policemen are going to quit their jobs. And I'm just telling you right now, a lot of police are going to quit their jobs. You know, so there ain't gonna be no 911 in service. Then what? You're going to be out there looking for a man to protect you. And guess what? You're going to get rejected. Okay? And don't try to come for a man of the Lord, because you're definitely going to get the hand. Because the Lord is going to be dealing with his men when hell break loose in America, because he's going to give his men the ability to protect not only their women, but the Lord is also going to give his men the ability, the power to protect their families, because it's prophesied for certain women to be delivered through what? Childbearing. So a lot of you women out there, you think that just because you're beautiful, you got a big butt and long hair, you think that you're just going to be accepted by a man of the Lord. Nope. Prepare to get rejected. Because as you have rejected plenty of men before in the past because they didn't have a car, you thought they were bums, blah, when actually they had something good going for themselves, you mistreated and misused those men. Guess what? Galatians 6:7, the Lord is not mocked. So as you have done, it's going to come back to you. So you're going to get rejected. And then after you get rejected, you're simply going to be left to die. You're going to be left for dead. You're not going to be accepted by a man of the Lord. You're going to be left for dead. Okay? Then you're going to be crying. You're going to be trying to apologize. And, you're going to be trying to come up with excuses to justify your actions. And guess what? Lord's will, if we're of the elect, we ain't going to hear that shit. We ain't going to care about your crocodile tears or none of that shit. We're going to reject you and leave you to die. When hell break loose in America, when Jacob's trouble comes, you're not going to have a protection, because the average man out here, he going to be emotional. He going to be out here crying and panicking. But Lord's will, if we're of the elect, we're going to know what's going on. And Lord's will, we're going to have a hedge. Even the men of the Lord are going to be shaken up, but at least we're going to know what's going on. Lord's will, we're of the elect. We're hoping to be of the elect. Okay. Okay. So right here it says he showed her the same respect that she showed him. He had to be a Generation X dude more than likely. Nah, if he was a Generation X dude, he would have fell head over heel. He would have fell for her. Okay. That's a Generation X nigga right there. He would have fell for her. But you see, a lot of guys are waking up to you women, man, and they're just not putting up with your bullshit or your mind games anymore. Okay. Now that man is the true definition of a gangster. So this dude, he's getting laud and praises for basically leaving this woman.
One time I let this guy take me out to dinner, and after we ordered our food, I go to check my phone. I'm on my phone for like 30 seconds. He got up and left. He didn't even say anything either. He just quietly got up and left.
A lot of guys is waking up to you women in your little mind games, because here it is, it's you and him, going out to eat. And basically, you're on your phone. And that's another problem with you women, Y'all spend way too much fucking time on y'all phones, man. There's a reason why the Lord created man and women, As men and women, we're supposed to be interacting. You on your phone when he's taking you out to dinner. He's paying for, you know. Golly, like. So in other words, so basically your phone is more important than him. Is basically what you were showing him. So you know what? He said, fuck this broad. He just got up and left. Quietly. You know, he gave you the same energy that you basically gave him. You know? Because technically, it can mean a lot of things when a woman is just on her phone. You said 30 seconds, you know. You could have been texting another guy. I mean, he wouldn't know. You know, you could have been texting another man. You could have been, you know. When a guy is taking a woman out to eat, that's supposed to be a time when, you know, they're talking, communicating. And, you know, that's supposed to be a time when they're supposed to be vibing. But no, instead, you just wanted to be on your phone, so. I'm in the middle of doing a video. Salakia. My brothers are knocking at the door. 1 minute, Akim. Salakia. 1 minute. Salakia for the Akim. I am back. Now I had to take care of some business. But yeah, you know, you look at some of the comments on this comment board and you can see how a lot of guys are becoming fed up with these women, okay? You know, you read some of these comments and, you know, it's like, you know, people are really getting fed up, especially the Israelite man. You know, as I said before, you know, the Israelite man for decades have went through, you know, being abused emotionally, physically, mentally, you know, relationship wise by all these wicked women, you know, and you know, another thing about you women, especially the Israelite women, you don't realize how much you got it made in this kingdom, you know, because Esau's giving you all kind of rights. You know, he's giving you special authority. He's basically put you over the man, which is really fulfilling prophecy, because in the book of Ezekiel, or is that the book of Jeremiah, the 31st chapter, the Lord said that he had created a new thing in the earth, a woman shall compass a man. But you see, you women, you use the power and authority which Edom gave you to you know, basically to abuse your power and the liberty that Esau's given over you. You know, that's why you got a passport, boys, you know, which if you don't know what a passport boy is basically a man that basically gets on the airplane, especially an Israelite man who gets on the airplane and he basically flies overseas to find him a proper woman. Because if you're a man in this society, especially here in America, your chances of finding a proper woman is going to be 97%, which means the rest of the 3% that makes up a complete 100% are basically the women that are in their right minds. And nowadays, it's hard to find a woman that is in her right mind. You know, a woman who's humble, who's willing to, you know, hunker down and listen to her man, you know. And I think it's the spirit how recently, you know, there's been videos coming out, you know, with basically men saying, you know, when hell break loose in America, we're not going to protect women, proud women, you know. You women who can't be taught, you can't be corrected, nobody can tell you anything. You think, hey, you're not going to be protected, okay? So, this is a comment by, one moment. See, this is a comment left by user OS2WC9. Yeah, he left after 30 seconds. If he hadn't, you'd still be on your phone for however long his patience lasted. And that's true, because once again, you women, you like to play mind games. You see, you know that if you have his, full attention, if he's really into you, you would have literally taken advantage of him. And a lot of you women do that, Oh, okay, he's still sitting there. He's just, waiting, da-da-da-da-da. I'm about to just do me and get on my phone. And she probably would have been on her phone for like another 3 minutes. But because, he got up and left, it just goes to show you that a lot of men nowadays, and I'm talking about men, I ain't talking about simps, okay? If you a man and you're simping over a woman, then you're not a man for real, okay? You're just not a man for real. Because what kind of man falls head over heels for a woman? If anything, you're a simp. Okay? And back in the ancient world, real men wasn't simping over women. It was the other way around. Okay? Women was simping over men. Okay? Because don't you know, back in the ancient world, women wanted to get pregnant by men, especially by Israelite men. If a woman couldn't get pregnant by her husband, she felt ashamed of herself. Her head was down. Okay. And the shame would come upon these women so heavily to where they would literally cry, shedding tears. But you got women nowadays, they want to go to the abortion clinic. They want to sleep around their man. And you, as a whole, you women are just ungrateful, okay? So you know what? Like the title of the video suggests, men is waking up. A lot of men is beginning to wake up to you women and your bullshit, okay? And you women, you're going to find out real quick what your real value is when you realize that men here in America don't want you no more. Because there's plenty of women around the world that's far more beautiful than you women here in America. And I'm talking about the Chinese women. Me personally, I'm into Asian women. Okay? I'm into Asian women. Those are some of the most beautiful women on the planet, But, some of those Asian women are actually Israelites, because remember, we've been scattered on the four corners of the earth. So, she may look Asian, but her line might go back to so-called Negro, Latino, or Native Indians on her father's side, because the man determines your nationality, which would make her an Israelite, because her father's lineage goes back to a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native Indian. You got the Mediterranean women, you got the East Indian women, you got the Arabian women. You got women in Africa that are beautiful as well. Very beautiful. Especially a lot more beautiful than you women here in America, man. And there's a lot of men here in America that's beginning to wake up to the fact that you Americanized women ain't shit, man. Because you've been given too much liberty. You've been given too much freedom. You've been given too much authority, too much liberty. And the scriptures speak about what happens when you give a woman liberty. She gad abroad. She always got some shit to say about her man behind her back and da-da-da-da-da. And, I don't like this. And you speak to me like that. And hey, you know what? Hey, well, good fucking riddance. When Jacob's trouble come, don't go trying to pretend like you was for the Israelite man. Hey, because look, if we're of the elect, we're going to be able to see through your con artist acting bullshit. Okay? But, yeah, man, I'm going to read more of these comments. Then I'm going to go ahead and close it down. He said he deserves a slow clap for that move. You see that? And you got guys on here literally cheering him. And that's the right spirit to be in. No man should be simping over no goddamn women, especially you women here in America. You ain't worth the energy. You're not worth the time. You're not worth the attention. Okay, there's plenty of women outside of America who would deserve the amount of attention that the average man here in America give you. Plenty of women outside of America, women in Brazil, women in Mexico. You see? It says he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He seen that bullshit coming. You see that? And you know what's funny? The Lord put the spirit on this woman to tell on herself. You see? The guy dodges a bullet. And you know what's funny? I've done that to a woman before, okay? You know, I picked up on the fact that she was trying to play mind games with me. This is when I was working at the casino, I believe 2 years ago. I was working at the casino and there was this woman, you know, she used to always flirt with me and shit, you know. No, she tried to, like playfully hit me and, you know, try to get into my life and see what I'm about. And, you know, she'd always talk to me, sit down and eat lunch with me and da-da-da-da-da. And, you know, eventually we exchanged numbers and, to make a long story short, it just got to the point to where she was just playing mind games. So you know what I did? I turned her down. I rejected her. I said, hey, I told her like, hey, don't talk to me anymore. You know, don't stop pretending like you're really about a relationship, you know? And it could be hard to turn down a woman, you know, because the Lord created men and women to be together, you know. But it's just on this side here in America, the minds of these women have been corrupted to the point to where you really can't do anything with them. You know, you just got to hope that they have interest in you. And really, that's not the type of mindset a man should have towards a woman. Because in reality, a woman should be interested in you. You know? But, anyways. Okay, if they cannot stay away from their phone, stay away from them, period. Okay, 54 likes. And that comment was left by the Knight's Palace. Okay. Unknown user, I'll let this guy take me out to dinner. The absolute self-importance and entitlement in that one sentence speaks volumes. Yeah, right. You know, you should even be grateful that a man even considered taking you out. Especially if he's an Israelite man, which would be a so-called Black, Latino, or Native Indian man, which are the true biblical Israelites. He was 100% correct. Respect is mandatory on all sides. Lord knows she wouldn't like it either. He sensed a horseshit parade in the making and he bounced. We ain't having it anymore. Ooh, you see that? He sensed a horseshit parade in the making and he bounced. We ain't having it no more. You understand? Guys, go to your stop, watch, and run it to 30 seconds and don't do anything else. 30 seconds is not a short amount of time when you're being ignored. And you damn well know, in reality, she was on it for way more than just 30 effing seconds. Yeah, I mean, she's probably lying, you know. She gave him the impression the date wasn't important, pretty much. Now she's all the time in the world to be on her phone. Now she has all the time in the world to be on her phone. The correct answer for disrespect. That's right. You just get up and leave, you know, Because, hey, one thing about women hate being ignored. They don't like it when you don't give them attention, you know? So, hey, baby girl, you were on a date. That's why he bounced. You didn't take it serious. He didn't take you. Hope he left her with the bill. Oh, shit. Straight savage mode. 30 seconds is actually a long time to stare at a phone. Take a peek. No missed calls, but put it back down. No one is texting if it's an emergency. Right. You see, you on your phone for 30 seconds, you know, when really he should be all the attention you should be giving him, but you on your phone. So basically your phone is more important than the man is taking you out to eat. Your phone is not taking you out to eat. The man in front of you is. But again, going back to the unappreciated attitude that these women give off. So, hey, don't go crying and playing the victim when you realize he left you. You know, because a lot of you women, you like to play the victim when men finally step up to your bullshit. And once again, men just ain't having it no more, especially the Israelite man. With that, I'm going to say, Shalom is on to the next one.